This is a video I made from one of the Zoom sessions I've been running. The video explains some of the differences between the TM5 and the TM6 in more detail. You could be completely forgiven if you thought that just looking at them they looked totally the same except for the larger screen. That's because Vorwerk has used the same housing for both machines, but that's pretty much where the difference ends. I'm going to explain a little bit more about the TM5 as well, because I know some of you have TM31s and you want to know a bit more about those, but the TM6 is the one that's the big leap. So this is our TM5 screen. So we have a limited amount of different modes, if you like, or functions on this machine. So you get to them by clicking this button. You can do a pre-clean, you can do the usual kneading function that the TM31s Plus have had. You can go in reverse just like you used to with your TM31 and go to the menu. Now with the menu you can have access to Cookie Do. When I say access, what I mean is you use your phone or your PC or your iPad, something like that, to access Cookie Do, and you send recipes to your TM5. You can't physically search on your TM5 screen for recipes. So apart from your everyday cookbook, the recipes that you have with the book that comes with your TM5, all those recipes are actually in your machine. The rest of them you have to go to Cookie Do and download them to the machine. And of course you can use it manually just like you would your TM31 and do any recipe you like. So if you'd like to know more about the TM5, please sing out and I'll help you out. But this is now the TM6 screen. As you can see, it's larger. And down the bottom, we have three little dots, the ellipsis down there. That's showing us that we have three screens on this machine. So the first screen is Cookie Do. So now you don't have to go to Cookie Do on your phone, your iPad, etc. You can go straight from your machine, which is really handy when you're doing something that you know you're going to cook. So if you quite often cook rice or risotto, then you can just search risotto on your screen and up comes all the different recipes for risotto, and you don't have to go to your iPad or phone. But if you're like me and you like to have a look at recipes at night, you can do that in front of the TV on your iPad or laptop or whatever you've got, and choose recipes and have them sync to your machine. Another cool feature are collections. Collections are little ebooks, if you like, of a specific topic. So at the moment in Australia, there's 157 different little ebooks, and they're on things like bread baking. There's one on smart cooking, one on baby and toddler, and it goes on and on like that. So you can actually hone in on a specific topic that you want to hone in on and have a look at all the recipes that are in that little ebook. So then we have the middle screen, which is our manual screen, and this is what you see on your TM5, and it's the same really on your TM31. So you have time, temperature and speed. I use this screen for any time I want to do a quick easy recipe that I know what time, temperature and speed I want to run it at. Now if we hit the home button, you'll see that we have some different options here. We have bookmark, created recipes, created collections and saved collections. Bookmark would be if you're sitting in front of the TV with your iPad or phone and you start clicking on to bookmark certain recipes to look at them later, they will come underneath the bookmark. If you do created recipes, that actually is your recipes that you've put into Cookie Do that you've made guided yourself. Then you've got created collections. So that might be a collection of recipes that you've found on Cookie Do or you've created yourself that you've put in a collection that you want to make for, say, a dinner party or an event. Then the last one, saved collections, would be for putting those little ebook type recipes into one area so that you can go back to them without Wi-Fi. So they're really good options to have that the TM5 doesn't. So let's have a closer look at created recipes. That has to be one of my favorites. I've put quite a lot of my own personal recipes into this area of my TM6. So I've made them all to be recipes that are mine, that are actually guided cooking, and it's quite easy to do once you know the rules, and I can help you with that at any time. Now the third screen on your TM6 is your modes screen. The idea behind this screen is this is Thermomix's way to show you how your Thermomix has replaced all those other tools or gadgets you have in your kitchen. We have 14 modes to date. When the Thermomix, the TM6 first came out, I believe there was only 7, I think. Don't quote me on that because I didn't have a TM6 straight up. But just like your phone, we are getting updates all the time. So Thermomix or Vorwerk are putting new modes in here so that we can easily replace some of our kitchen gadgets and not have to think about how do we go about this or how do we go about that. So the first one on this list is the weigh scales, and this one's a really good one for me. Being a pastry chef, I use things like baking powder, ingredients that are powerful that you really need to weigh at small increments. So this machine actually weighs in 1 gram increments instead of 5 or 10 like the older models used to. The next mode I have on my machine is the pre-clean mode. That has had an upgrade from the TM5. This one now will actually clean depending on how dirty your machine is. So you tell it whether it's got dough in there, it's got caramelization, and it will clean it. It does a really good job. The next one is on my screen is dough. We all know that one, that's interval speed. Then we have warm up. So we can warm up soup, baby food, whatever we like, and take it to a specific temperature and the machine will stop when it gets there. This function isn't just handy to warm up soup or your dinner. It's great for doing things like warming chocolate to melt, or if you wanted to set your milk to 37 degrees before you put your yeast in to have it activate. There are so many different reasons to use that function. Okay, so moving on to the next one, we have turbo. Turbo we have in all the other machines as well. So you've got the choice here of 1 or 2 seconds. That's great for flicking dough off blades, etc. Then we have blend. I use blend to emulsify or to blend soup and things like that. The next one's kettle. We can set this to a temperature, say for 82 degrees for your white tea or 100 degrees, and it will actually stop when it gets there so it doesn't boil over. This next mode is brilliant. It will actually cook your eggs to whatever you require. So soft, medium, medium hard, hard. All you do is you put your eggs in the bowl with the blades, cover them with water and set it. As soon as the sound goes off, you go to it, take them out, and they are perfect. In this mode, your blades don't move at all and it cooks your eggs perfectly. Next we have our thicken mode. This one, what you do is you put all your ingredients in for, say, an egg-based sauce or custard, set it to 80 degrees and click start, and it will cook it until it's perfect. If you were doing a flour-based sauce, you set it to 100 degrees, click start, and it cooks it. Easy. So this one takes all the guesswork out of making custards and sauces. Next we have rice cooker. All you do is you put your rice in the bottom of the bowl and you set it to cook as a guided recipe. Another easy one. Then we have fermentation. Hours, the temperature you can set between 37 and 70 degrees. It's great for making yogurt, fermented vegetables. Then we have slow cook. Slow cook is awesome. It goes from 1 to 8 hours. You can set the temperature and let it go for up to 8 hours and it will slow cook your recipe. Then we have sous vide. You can put vacuum packed meat, fish or seafood, vegetables, whatever you like, into your Thermomix. Set it between 40 and 85 degrees and you can do that for 12 hours. There's the peeler function which will peel your vegetables. Now let's go back to cookie dough, and I just wanted to show you something that is built into this machine, and that is the speakers.
There are many ways to cook with Thermomix. A bolognese, for example. There is Harry's way with Wagyu beef. There is Anna's way with no meat at all. Mia's way.
So how cool is that? This is the first model that has had speakers built into it. So it actually talks to you. In some of the recipes, in the guided recipes, you'll notice that they have videos that show you what to do next. So they might show you how to roll out pastry, or they might show you how to roll up scrolls. You can choose to watch the videos or skip past them. Okay, so let's get off the screen and talk about other things. So this is the new MC. It has little lugs on the side so that when you pop it in place and lift the lid, it won't fall out. So it actually sits into the machine, making it much better for when you're grinding, etc. The new spatula is a lot better. It has a softer end on it and it doesn't deteriorate as quickly as the old one used to. There's a new basket and it has a lid. I find this is really awesome with just 2 of us in the house. I use it in place of my salad spinner as well, washing salad and shaking it in the sink, but it also has a pouring spout. So when using it as a colander, you can trap rice, say, in it and pour your liquid out. It fits into the Thermomix just like the old one used to, and the lid sits on. Another new thing that comes with the TM6 is the splatter guard. This is really good for high heat work. So when you put it on top of your Thermomix and have something going to high heat, it stops any splashing or oil splatters. So that's a quick rundown of the differences between a TM5 and a TM6. There are more, but I've probably taken enough of your time up. Thank you for following me and watching this video to the end.